everybody on YouTube, it's Michael here. And just over 2 months ago, I did my first tutorial video of the Yamaha Genos, in which I showed you the basics and intermediate functions and features, so that you can get to know how to use your keyboard. And now today, I will be doing yet another tutorial video of the Genos, in which I'll be showing you the more advanced functions and features. Functions and features including updating to the latest firmware, song recording, style creator, etc. So here is the second Genos tutorial video, showing the more advanced functions and features. And I do hope that this video will help you in you getting to know how to use your Genos a lot more. So thank you very much for watching and hope you enjoy. Now, here is the first thing that I want to show you on this second tutorial of the Yamaha Genos, and that is how to update to the latest firmware. First of all, you need to download the latest firmware on the Yamaha website and put that firmware onto a USB device such as a USB stick, USB hard drive, etc. Then connect the USB device to the Genos before turning on the keyboard. And then what you will need to do is turn on the keyboard whilst holding down the start-stop button. And then this menu will appear. It is searching the install data for the latest firmware. And it says on the screen here, to start installation, please press the start-stop button. And notice, do not try to turn off the power until all installations are finished. So we are going to install the latest firmware now, just by pressing the start-stop button here on the bottom left of the video, where my finger is. And just press the start-stop button. And now it's installing. This may take a while. It's on step 1 at the moment. So now the firmware is installing. It's on step 3 now. Step 2 was just a few seconds ago, so it could be quick, it could be slow. It depends on how big the firmware is. Now it's on step 4. Step 5. I'm just reading the screen there. It says step 5. And there you go. The update has been completed, and it's telling me to turn the power off. And it says here the version of the installed program is version 1.20, which is the latest firmware of the Genos. So I'm going to go ahead now and turn off the keyboard. It actually took, it was actually quicker than I thought for installing the firmware. And just turn on the keyboard as you usually would, just by pressing the power button without touching any other buttons. And there you go. And that is how you install the latest firmware on the Yamaha Genos. With newer firmware, it could have like extra features with the functions, and it could also fix bugs which may have been on the previous firmware of the Yamaha Genos. So that's just a tutorial on how you update to the latest firmware. Now here is another tip that I want to show you, and that is how to play the GM and XG voices and GM2 voices on the Yamaha Genos. And now I've only just found this out just about a week ago. My manager Tony from Bonner's Music showed me that you can do this, and he showed me how to do it. So I'm going to show you how you can play the GM and XG voices and GM2 voices on Genos. Some of you may know that on my first tutorial I said that you can't get access to the GM and XG voices and GM2 voices on Genos. You still can't, but I will show you how you can. Basically, you need to copy and paste the GM and XG voices and GM2 from any of the previous Tyros keyboards and put them onto Genos. I still have my Tyros 4, so I will show you on my Tyros 4 how to do that. First of all, connect your USB device onto any of the previous Tyros keyboards, and then this on the screen it will come up saying device is connected. Then select the voice, go to the voice section, and then press this button here to get a menu with all the voice categories. Press copy, select GM and XG and GM2 and press OK. Then go to your USB device and hit paste. This may take some time because you are copying and pasting two folders with some voices. Okay, now the voices are now copied on the USB stick. I skipped the part of the video where it was copying because it did take a couple of minutes to copy and paste onto the USB stick. And there's your GM and XG and GM2 voices onto the USB stick. And then what you're going to do is put the USB stick into the Genos. So we'll just do that now. There we go, USB device is connected. And then what you're going to do is select the voice here, go to User, and then go to USB 1. And there you have it. There's the GM and XG and GM2 voices into those folders. And then what you're going to do is go to File, and then you want to copy these two onto the user section, just here. Select copy here. It is now copying the GM and XG and GM2 folders. There we go. Select any of these folders here. Let's go to sound effect. And there you have it. So there is now a way that the GM and XG and GM2 voices can be played on the Genos. We'll select some voices from the GM2. So that's just some of the voices of the GM and XG and GM2 voices. And that is how you can play the GM and XG voices and GM2 voices on the Yamaha Genos. Before last week, I did not know myself that you could do this, but now you can. So that's how you get the GM and XG and GM2 voices, being able to play them on Genos. Now here's something that I want to show you on Genos with the playlist. Now in my previous tutorial video I showed you how playlist works and everything, etc, etc. But here is something that I didn't show you on the previous video and that I'm going to show you on this video. And that is being able to play the previous Tyros Music Finder files on the playlist on Genos. So download all of the previous Tyros Music Finder files onto a USB stick. The best website to find all the previous Tyros Music Finder files is on www.psrtutorial.com. Then download all the previous Tyros Music Finder files onto a USB stick. So I'm just going to connect the USB device onto the Genos now. There we go, USB device is connected. And then go to the playlist gateway button here. And then go to this little box up here which says example, because example is the preset playlist of the Genos. Then go to user, USB 1, and as you can see here there's the previous Tyros Music Finder files. I've got Music Finder files for Tyros 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. And then what I'm going to do, well for this instance I'm going to do Tyros 5. And it says on the menu here, the selected Music Finder file will be converted to a playlist file. Continue. So we shall continue. And then what it's doing now, it is converting all of the Tyros 5 Music Finder song titles into registration memories. And because there's over 1,800 song titles being converted into registrations for the playlist for Genos, this will take a while. So it's now executing and converting the Music Finder into registrations. Okay, so now that the Tyros 5 Music Finder folder has finished being converted into the playlist of Genos, it says on the menu, the Music Finder file has been converted to a playlist file. To use it in the same way as the Music Finder, make sure to turn on the OTS link button. The OTS link button on my keyboard's already turned on, so we just hit OK. Select that and press playlist. And there, as you can see, all of the Tyros 5 Music Finder song titles are on the playlist of the Genos. There are altogether 1,825 song titles from the Tyros 5 Music Finder file that has been converted into registrations for the Genos playlist. So you just select one, press load, and that will load the song title. And with the OTS link turned on, it changes the voice automatically. We'll select another one. So it works the same way as the Tyros Music Finder. Here's another example. I'm now going to convert another Music Finder from another Tyros keyboard. So let's take Tyros 3, for example. So it's now converting the Tyros 3 Music Finder song titles as a playlist file for Genos. Again, there's so many of them, so this will take a while. So I will skip this part of the video whilst it's converting them. Okay, so now that the Tyros 3 Music Finder folder has been, file has been converted to a playlist file for Genos. So we do exactly the same as we did with the Tyros 5 file with the music finder to playlist. So hit OK, and we'll select Tyros 3, playlist, and there we have all of the song titles from Tyros 3's music finder as registrations on Genos, on the playlist. Obviously I skipped the video whilst it was converting on the Tyros 5 and 3 music finder files, because converting them, it took over 5 minutes to do, so I skipped that part of the video because it can take quite a long time to convert them all. And on the Tyros 3 music finder file, there are 1,850 different song titles that have now been converted into registrations on the playlist here. And we just do exactly what we did before here. Load, make sure the OTS link is turned on. So it works the same way as the music finder, but it's been converted as a playlist for the Genos. Okay, so now that I have converted all of the Tyros Keyboard's music finder files as a playlist for Genos, so that I can show you them all. As you know, I've already done the Tyros 5 music finder as a playlist. We've got all the song titles from the Tyros 5 music finder, and I've also done the Tyros 4. So those go to the playlist again, and these are all the Tyros 4's music finder song titles. There are 1,464 song titles in total for the Tyros 4 music finder file. And also on the Tyros 3, we have 1,850 as I said on the previously. And here we have the Tyros 2's music finder file converted to playlist. And on the Tyros 2's music finder file you have 2,083 song titles. But unfortunately, when I converted to Tyros 1 music finder, nothing seems to come up on there at all. So it's just a little quick pointer that all of the keyboard's Tyros 2, 3, 4 and 5 music finder files will work when being converted into playlist. The only one that won't work is Tyros 1. And just like on the music finder, it all works the same way. You select a song title and you load, and it gives you the right style and the right variation, intro, etc. And it also gives you the one-touch setting of the style. The one-touch setting of the style when the OTS link is turned on. Just like it would on the music finder of the Tyros keyboards. So, all in all of the Tyros keyboard's music finder files, except for Tyros 1, will work on being converted into playlists on the Yamaha Genos. And that is how you can load the previous Tyros keyboard's music finder files and convert them into a playlist file on Genos. Now here's something else that I want to show you on Genos, and some of you have requested me to do this, and that is how to create a registration memory and how to save your registration memories and load them up for instant recall. So first of all, what you're going to do before you save a registration memory is to select the voices and styles that you want for your registration memory. So for this instance, I'm just going to go with the piano and strings. So I'm going to turn on the right hand voice too. So you've got the piano and strings. And then we're going to select a style. So we'll take this one for instance. And then what you're going to do is select the style controls for the registration memory. So we're going to take intro 2 and turn the sync start on. And I think that the string sound is a bit too loud. So what I'm going to do is turn down the right hand voice 2 a little bit. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. Say turn it down to say 70. And now that your settings has been complete, what you're going to do now is press the memory button here and then select any one of these 10 registration memory buttons. So for this instance, I'm just going to go with registration memory button 1. And there you go. Your registration memory has been saved, so it doesn't matter now if you change the voices on the right hand side or left hand side. So I'm just showing you. It doesn't matter if you change the voices or change the style, like so. And it also doesn't matter if you change the style control here, or turn down or up the volumes of the voices, styles, multipads, etc. So now, as you can see, the voices and the style has been changed. But that doesn't matter because you saved your registration memory onto one of the banks here. And one touch of the registration memory button here will instantly load up everything you saved. Your styles, your voices, multipads, style control, and the voice volumes, etc. So we're back onto the piano and strings. And the intro that I chose with the style. And if you change things around the keyboard and you want to go back to the registration memory you saved, you just press this button and it will instantly load up your settings. So now that you have saved your settings on any of these buttons of the registration memory, you can now make up a new setting. So for this instance, I'm going to turn the strings off here and change the piano sound into, say, an acoustic guitar sound. And change the style control here to fill in C. And also, if you feel that your tempo is too high or too slow, you can just change the tempo as well. For this instance, I'm going to turn the tempo down a bit. And then once you're happy with your settings, just simply press the memory button here and press any one of these 10 registration memories. So for this instance, I'm going to select registration memory number 2. And that's another registration memory bank saved. Here is one more example with the registration memories. And this time I'm going to select a different voice. I am going to now select a sound in the electric guitar category. So I'm going to choose this one here. Here's what it sounds like. And then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to change the sound's DSP effect. So we just go through that. And for this instance, so here's what it is now. And I'm going to change it into an auto wah effect. So I've changed the DSP effect of that sound. And then I'm going to once again change the style control. So I'm going to select Fill in D. So now I have selected my voice and a DSP effect, and I've also changed the style control again. So once you're happy with your setting, just again press the memory button here, and for this instance I'm going to choose registration memory bank number 3, and then there's bank number 3 saved on the registration memory. So we can start with registration memory number 1 with all the settings that I have saved. So that's your entire bank of registration memories saved. And now if you want to save the registration memories that you have saved here into a folder, don't worry about this registration memory up here. That was one of my registration memories that I've done before. But I will rename that. But first of all, I'm going to create a new folder. So just go to File here and then select New Folder. And then give that folder a name. And then once you've given your folder a name, just hit OK. And there is your folder saved. And then to save your registration memory, just go to File here and press Save to save your registration memory. But as this is one of the registration memories that I've previously done, so I won't call it that. So I'll give that a different name. So we'll just give this registration memories that are saved a name. So just going to rename that. Then once you've renamed your registration memories or named your registration memory that you want to name, press OK. And there you go. There's your registration memory bank saved. So it doesn't matter if I say select another registration memory here. If I want to instantly load the registration memory that I saved, there we go, there's my registration that I've just created now. Select that, and there you go. There's your registration bank saved in a folder. So you can go back to it anytime you want. And that is how you create a registration memory, save a registration memory, and load it for instant recall. Now here's something else that I want to show you on Genos, and that is how to change the preset one-touch settings into your own one-touch settings of a style. So we're going to select a style. And we're going to take this style, for example. And there's these one-touch setting buttons here. And each style has full one-touch settings. So here's one-touch setting number 1. Well, here, we're on the piano at the moment. But if you press the one-touch settings here with the style, here's one-touch setting 1. And here's one touch setting 2, one touch setting 3, and one touch setting 4. But what if you don't like some of the preset one touch settings on a style? So for example, if you didn't like one touch setting 1 or one touch setting 2 and you want to change it into your own one touch setting, well, you can. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So for this one, I'm going to choose one touch setting 1, and let's pretend that I don't like that sound for the one touch setting of this style. So I'm going to change the voice. Say if I wanted the organ sound. So we selected our voice, and in order to save that as your own one touch setting, do exactly what you do to save a registration memory here. Press the memory button, but instead of pressing these registration memory buttons, press one of the one touch setting buttons that you want saved. So there you go, it says on the screen, one touch setting data has been changed. If you select another style without executing the save operation, the data you change will be lost. Save. So it's telling me to save the style, but I won't do that yet. Now before we save the style that we chose to change the one touch settings on, maybe you want to change other one touch settings on that style that you might not like. So let's take one touch setting 2 for example, which is the piano sound. And maybe you want to change it into, say, an acoustic guitar sound. So once you're happy with that voice for one touch setting 2, simply press the memory button and one touch setting number 2. We've got that menu here again. So that's one touch setting 1 and 2 saved. So here's your own one touch setting 1, one touch setting number 2. Here is one more example of changing the preset one touch settings into your own. Let's just say that, let's say like one touch setting 3. If you like that one touch setting, then you don't have to do anything with it. Or if you like one touch setting 4, but you want to change the effects on it, the DSP effects, just go to this voice gateway button here and go to this menu here. And here you can change the DSP effects. So let's just say that we want like different effects. So for example, we just take a distortion effect. And then once you're happy with the DSP effect, press the memory button here and save it to one touch setting number 4. So you've got the same sound of the preset one touch setting. The only thing you've done is change the DSP effect. So now that you have changed the one touch settings that you want to change, so here we have the one touch setting 1, which is the organ. Number 2 is the acoustic guitar. And one touch setting 4, well, the one touch setting 3 didn't have to do anything. And one touch setting 4 is another acoustic guitar. It's the same sound as the preset one touch setting of the style, but I've just changed the DSP effect. And then for the one touch settings to change automatically when changing variations of the style, press the OTS link button here to turn it on. So that when you change the variations of the style, as you can see, the one-touch settings change as well, as I change the variations of the styles. So here's a little example. So there's your very own one-touch settings that you've saved. And now in order to keep those one-touch settings, we are going to save the style now. So go to User. And from here, we just go to File, Save. It's telling me to save here. And now it's telling me to change the name of the style. You don't have to, but for this case I will. And then press OK. And there is your style with the preset one-touch settings changed. So I'll just show you again quickly. Here is the preset one-touch settings. Sorry, here's the preset one-touch settings of the preset style. So there's the preset style. And here's the preset one-touch settings. And here is the exact same style here, just been renamed for this example here. And these are the one-touch settings that you have made yourself. So same style, different one-touch settings. For this instance, I didn't touch one-touch setting 3, and there's one-touch setting 4. And that is how you can change the preset one-touch settings of a style to your own one-touch settings. But again, before you change to a different style, you will have to save that style first, so that you can keep the one-touch settings you've created. Now here's something that I want to go through with you on this tutorial of the Genos, and that is the song recording features. So first of all, I'm going to show you how to do a quick recording. So go to the gateway buttons here and press Menu. Go to Menu 2. Then go to Song Recording. And for this instance, I'm going to do a MIDI quick recording. So go to Quick Recording MIDI. And there you go. It's all ready to be recorded. There's the record thing here flashing. So it's ready to be recorded. And the keyboard will start recording as soon as you play the keyboard. So here we go. And then you just press stop as soon as you're finished. Press save. And it's telling you to save here. So we'll give our new song a name. And then you just press OK. Go to Exit. Song A or Song B. And make sure you select the song as MIDI and not audio. And there you go. There's the song that we have recorded. And now you can play that back. And there you go. And that is how you do a quick recording MIDI. Okay, and now I'm going to show you how to do a MIDI multi-track recording. So just go to Menu, Menu 2, Song Recording, and go to MIDI Multi-Recording. So you can do a multi-track recording. And just press the record button here. And as you can see on this menu here, there's the bottom 8 banks here are your style backings, and on the top we have one for the right hand side voice 1, the left hand voice, the right 2 and 3, and multipads 1, 2, 3 and 4. So I'm going to go ahead now and do a multi-track record. I'm going to play exactly what I did last time, but in a multi-track recording. So I'm going to do this part first. And then we'll stop there. So as you heard on the at the end, I've added another sound on the right hand voice too. And also I made some mistakes on purpose, because here's the next step that I want to show you. Okay, so here is the playback of the multi-track that I recorded. So as you heard there, I've made some mistakes on purpose, because I want to show you how you can correct them. So for this instance, go on to Step Edit, and it will show you all the notes that you've played. So as you can see, that was a mistake. And in order to correct it, select the note there, and you can either correct it by pressing the keys on the keyboard, or you can correct it by using the dialer wheel here. So now that the mistakes have been corrected, here's what it will sound like now. So as you heard there, the mistakes that I've purposely done, just to show an example of the step edit, I have now corrected them. So they're all right and there's no mistakes. So that's just a quick example of the step edit. Like if you made a mistake, you can go on to step edit to correct the notes that you've mistakenly done. Okay, so now that you've recorded the first part of your multi-track recording, and corrected any mistakes that you might have done, we can now add some extra parts to the multi-track recording. So just press record here, and the ones that are not marked red, those have already been recorded, so you don't have to worry about recording over what you've just recorded. And this track here is intended for the left hand side voice, so I'm going to change that into right 1. Press OK, and then I'm going to change the voice of the right hand voice 1, so I can add an extra part to it, and also I will also add some multipads here. So here we go. And then you just press stop. So now all the other extra parts that you've done has been recorded into the multi-track recording, so we can now play that back. Now we have the added extra parts. So now your multi-track recording is complete. So once you're happy with everything, just tap save. Go to save here and give your new multi-track recording a name. And then press OK. Exit and go to Song A or Song B, it doesn't matter which one. Make sure you select MIDI. And there you go. There's your newly added multi-track recording in which you can play back now. So there's your newly added multi-track recording saved and played back. But what if you want to make a complete multi-track recording from scratch without using any of the backing styles? Well, you can, and I'm going to show you how. You just press menu here again, song recording, multi-recording, MIDI, and it's all ready for you to make a complete orchestra from scratch. There's altogether 16 tracks, so you don't have to like use the backing styles. You can also make a complete orchestra, and right now I'm going to show you how. So for this, I'm going to turn the tempo down a bit, select a voice on my right hand. So for this instance here, I'm going to use the harp sound. And here's the metronome that will help me keep in time. Press record, and it waits until I play the keyboard before it starts. So here we go. So I got that part recorded, and we can play that back. So now that we have added the first part of our multi-track orchestra, we can now add another part. So we're going to use track 2, select right 1, and it's ready to record. So now that's added. So now we got the second part of the multi-track recorded. We can now add another. So I'm going to change the voice. I'm now going to change it into a classical flute. And go to track number 3, select that as the right one, and now it's ready to be recorded. So here we go. we press stop, and that's our third track recorded. So here's how it sounds now. So now that our third track has been recorded of the multi-track recorder, I'm now going to add another track. So I'm going to change the voice, change it to that one. Track number 4, right 1, OK. And then we hit play. So that's that track done, so it will sound like this. Okay, so now that that track is completed, we are going to do one more. So I am going to change the voice and change it into this. Classical strings. Track number 5 this time. Right hand side 1. OK. And it's ready to record. So that's our track completed now. I've done 5 tracks here, though you can go up to 16, but for this instance I've done 5. So here's the entire orchestrated multi-track recording. So that's my track completed. I'm now going to save that. Save here. And give your new orchestrated recording a name. Then press OK. And there's your new multi-track recording completed. A one that you don't use the backing styles, you just made that track from scratch. So here's how it sounds being played back. So there you go. I did an example on to do a multi-track recording using the backing style, and a multi-track example of making a complete orchestra from scratch without using any of the backing styles. That's just a little something that I just kind of made it up, but I don't know if it's from a song or similar, but I've just made that up otherwise. And that is how you do a multi-track recording. With an example of using the backing style and an example making a complete track from scratch. So again, that's how you do a multi-track MIDI recording. Okay, so now that I've showed you how to do a MIDI quick recording and a MIDI multi-track recording, I'm now going to show you how to do a quick audio recording. So press this menu gateway button here, go to menu 2, song recording, and here you're going to press audio quick recording. And on here it says touch play pause to start recording. So as soon as I've done that, I would have started recording. So here we go. And then press stop once you've finished your recording. And it's already saved onto the song, so you don't have to go through like save the song just like you did with the MIDI quick recording. Just go to song A or song B, and there you go. The audio is already saved onto the keyboard. So now we can play that back. So that's the quick audio recording that I've recorded. It's called Audio 1 here, but you can rename that. So just go to File, Rename, and you can now rename the audio file that you recorded. And then just press OK. So there you have it. There's your audio quick recording saved and renamed. The audio quick recording works pretty much the same way as a MIDI quick recording, except for a couple of differences. With the audio quick record, you have to press the play pause button on the touchscreen for it to begin recording, whereas the MIDI quick recording, it records as soon as you play the keyboard. And also, before recording the audio file would have already been saved on the keyboard. You just have to record something on it. So that is how you do an audio quick record. Okay, so now that I've showed you how to do a quick audio recording, I'm now going to show you how to do a multi-track audio recording. So exactly the same as before, press the menu gateway button here. Go to menu 2, song recording, and from here you're going to select audio multi-recording. Then press the record button here, and on here it will have already created an audio file for you. And on the screen here it says touch play pause to start recording. So I will do that. I'm going to play exactly as before, but then add extra parts for the multi-track later. So here we go. once your recording finished, press stop. So that's the first part of the multi-track audio recording done. Okay, so now that you have finished recording the first part of the multi-track audio, we can now add something else onto it. So for this instance, I'm going to turn right hand voices 2 and 3 off and change the voice of the right hand side 1 into this voice. Turn the volume up with that voice slightly. So that you don't accidentally record a new track of what you've previously recorded, press the overdub icon here. So you can overdub what you've previously recorded and add something else onto it. So just press the record button here and then press the play pause button to start recording an extra part to your multi-track. And then press stop once you've finished. And there you go, there's the other part recorded, so it will sound like this. So now that I have added an extra part of the multi-track audio recording, I'm going to do one more example and I'm going to add something else. So I'm going to change the voice into this voice here. And make sure that the overdub is ticked. Press record and then the play pause button to start recording. Then press stop once you've finished. And there you go. There's your multi-track recording done. Here's how it will sound now. Now the good thing about this overdub icon here is that you're not restricted to a 16-track sequencer as you are with the MIDI multi-track recording. With the overdub icon here, you can overdub it as many times as you like. Unlike with the MIDI multi-track recording, that you only have 16 tracks to do a multi-track. But with the overdub here, you can overdub as many tracks as you like. Also, the audio multi-recording, you don't have to play backing styles, just like I did here. You can also make a complete orchestra from scratch, just like I did with the example I showed you with the MIDI multi-track recording. But for this instance, I just did the backing styles just to show an example of the multi-track audio recording. But as I said, you can also make a complete orchestra from scratch as well. So once you're happy with everything, press the menu button here and go to Export. And you can either save it onto a USB stick or the user section of the keyboard. So for this instance, I'm going to save it onto the user section here. And give my multi-track audio file a name. And then press OK. It's now executing. And there you go. Your audio file has been saved. There you go. It took a bit longer because, as you know, the audio files are much larger than the standard MIDI recording. So now that the audio track has been saved, you can, at a later on date, put it onto a USB stick, put it into your computer and put it on CD, if you wish. And that is how you do an audio multi-track recording. Now here's something else that I want to go through with you on Genos, and that is the style creator. Now what if the preset styles aren't enough for you and you want to create your own styles? Well, you can. Just press the menu gateway button here, go to menu 2, style creator, and then what you're going to do is initialize style. There you go, as you can see there is new style, though there's nothing on the style yet because we haven't recorded anything on it yet. And for this instance, we're going to have do variation A, set the pattern length to 4, execute. The tempo when making a new style is set to 120, but we're going to keep it at that. And then we go to record channel. Then you can start recording your very own style from scratch. So here the drums are already set up. So we can start recording your own style. So we just press the sync start here. First of all, we're going to record the drums part. Press sync start and have the metronome turned on so we can keep in time. And the keyboard will start recording itself as soon as you start playing. And then we can add something else onto it as well. And then after that we can add something else onto it as well, just like this. And then something else. So that's our drum part complete, but as you can hear, timing is okay, but it's not perfect. So what you're going to do here, go to Channel Edit, go to Quantize, and quantize it on here, 16th, because that's the most common quantize setting. Press Execute, and now listen to the difference. There you go, the timing is much better, more perfect now. So that's our drum parts recorded. So just go back to the record channel here. So yeah, as you can hear, after the quantize, the timing is perfect. And now what we're going to do is we're going to record a bass for our style. So it says on the screen here, touch and hold the channel you want to record. So we're going to hold bass. And now the bass is ready for record. And it's set onto the piano sound. But the piano is not really a bass sound, is it? So we're going to change the voice of that and change it into a bass sound. That's better. And then just press the sync start to start recording. So that's our bass completed, and we're going to quantize that as well. Now listen to the bass now. So as you can hear, the timing of the bass is also perfect after the quantize. Okay, so now that we've got our drum and bass parts recorded on the style, we're now going to do a voice for the this section here, the chord 1. So we just hold down chord 1 to record that part. Again, it's set onto piano, but we're going to set it onto something else. How about electric piano sound? And then press the sync start. And as soon as you play the keyboard, it will start recording. And we are now going to quantize that part as well. And here it is. So that's our drum and bass and chord 1 so far completed. After the quantize, the timing of each part is perfect. Okay, so now that that's done, we're now going to record another part here. We're going to record on this section here, the chord 2. It's set onto piano. We're going to change that. We are going to change that into a guitar sound. So we will select acoustic guitar, and we'll select this one. Again, the sync start, and then it will start recording as soon as you play. So again, we're going to quantize that so that the timing is perfect. Execute. And play back. So that's another part of a style completed. Okay, now that the this part here is complete, I'm now going to do one more with variation A, and I'm going to do a phrase chord here. So we hold that to record that part. Again, set to piano, but I'm going to set it to an electric guitar sound. We're going to set it to muted guitar. Sync start, and then when you're ready, start recording. And we're also going to quantize that part as well. And there we go, there's our completed variation A. So that's our variation A style completed. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to make a fill-in for variation A, since we've already completed our tracks for variation A. So we're going to go to this page here, Basic, go to Section and select Fill-in A. And the pattern length is set to 1 with the fill-ins, so you can't change that as it's always set to 1. And now you're ready to record your fill-in for variation A, starting with the drums. As you can hear, the drums have already been set up ready. Press sync start and turn on the metronome so you can keep in time. And as soon as you're ready, start playing and it will start recording. So now we got our drums recorded for the fill-in A. We can now quantize that, set that to rhythm 2. It was set to phrase 1 because of the phrase 1 I recorded on the previous part with the variation A. And then we're going to quantize that. I'll play this and then do the quantize so you can hear the difference. And then we're going to press execute. So as you can hear, the timing of that is now perfect after the quantize. And now we're going to record our bass for fill-in A. So we just hold this channel here so you can record a bass. It's set onto piano. But we're going to change it into a bass sound. As soon as you're ready, start recording. And now we're going to quantize that. So that's our drum and bass for fill-in A complete. Now that we've done our drum and bass parts for fill-in A, we're now going to record something for this section here, called 1. So we just hold that so it can record that part. It's set onto piano. We're going to set it to exactly as before, the electric piano. And as soon as you're ready, press the sync start and start recording. We're now going to quantize that. And play it back. So that's the chord part completed with fill-in A. So now I'm going to do one final part for fill-in A, and we're going to record in this section here, chord 2, and change the voice as it's set onto piano again, and change it to exactly as I did before on the main variation, and that is this acoustic steel guitar. And as soon as you're ready, press the sync start button and play. And we're going to quantize that. And then play it back. But I think that the electric piano is a bit too loud, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that down a bit. There we go. Notice that? Now that I've turned that down a bit, I can hear the guitar, and I can also hear the electric piano sound. So that's our fill-in A completed. And after the quantizing, as you can hear, the timing is now perfect. So once you're happy with everything, just press save here. And then we're going to save it on the user section of the keyboard. So we're going to save it. And now it's telling me to give my new style a name. So I'm going to go ahead and rename that. And then press OK. Exit that. And there you go. There's your newly created style saved. So now that your style has been saved and renamed, here we are, we've finished variation A and fill-in A, so now we can start playing chords on it, just like this. So that's our variation A and fill-in A completed. At a later on date, you can start creating parts for variation B, C and D, and break and fill-in B, C and D, intro 1, 2 and 3, and ending 1, 2 and 3. But I just did the variation A and fill-in A just to show the example on how to create your own style. And that is how you use Style Creator to create your very own styles. Now here's a quick something that I want to show you here on Genos, and it's similar to the Style Creator, but it's called Style Assembly, which means you can change any parts of any style to make your own style by changing parts of other styles. So first of all, we're going to take this style, for example, and then we're going to do exactly what we've done before. Go to the menu gateway button here. Go to menu 2. Style Creator. And then we're going to choose Assembly. And here are all the parts that you can change on this style from other styles. And for this instance, we are going to select variation C and change parts of variation C of this style. So here's what this style sounds like in variation C. And maybe you want to change the chord 2 part from another style. So we'll select this. And maybe select a chord 2 part from this style. Or this style. Or maybe if you want to change the phrase 2 part of main C of this style into, say, this style. Or this style. Or this style. Or maybe if you want to change the drums of the same style, so take variation C's drums, for example, on this style, and change it into variation A. Or variation B. Now here's one more example. What if I want to change chord 1 of this style, variation C, then maybe change it into this style, or this style, or maybe this style. And then change it into variation D. Or B. And then once you're happy with your changes of different parts of different styles, then you can save the style. So go to Save, Save here, and it's telling me to give the style a name. You can keep it at that name if you wish, but for this case I won't. I'm going to give this style a different name. And then press OK. Exit that menu. And there you go. There's your style saved, the style assembly in which you've changed different parts of different styles and put it onto this style. So it sounds like this. So here's variation C of the preset style. And here's the exact same style, but with different parts from different styles changed onto it. And that is style assembly, in which you can select a style and then change the parts from that style to any other parts from any other styles and put it onto the style that you want to assemble it on. So that's another way on how to create your own styles, by changing parts of a style into any different parts of any other styles and then putting it onto that style. You can change parts at a later on date on variation A, B and D, etc. But for this example, I've changed variation C of this style from other parts of other styles. And that is how you use style assembly. Now here's another feature that I want to show you on here, and that is crossfader, in which you can fade between MIDI and audio. So we're going to select song A, MIDI, and for this instance I'm going to select the song that I did for the MIDI multi-track recording that I've done previously, and then go to song B, audio, and go to the song that I did for the audio multi-track example. But if you select MIDI, it says here, this item cannot be selected now because a MIDI song has been selected for song A. So you can't have a MIDI file for song A and song B. So song A is MIDI and song B is audio. And just want to show you something quickly. Now you can't have two MIDI files at the same time, but you can have two audio files at the same time. So just put that back on there. So song A is MIDI and song B is audio. And then what you do here is that you play these two songs together and use the crossfader here to fade between the two files, just like this. And that's just a quick tip on how you use crossfader. Okay, so there's just a couple more things that I need to show you on the Genos now. And this time, I'm going to show you how to use Multipad Creator. So first, you just go to the menu gateway button here. Go to menu 2, Multipad Creator. And then from here, you are going to select MIDI multipad recording. And then from here you're going to select new. So that just gives you a new multipad. Nothing's on there because you haven't recorded anything on it yet. And now we are going to select our voice for the first bank here. Also note that super articulation and super articulation 2 voices cannot be recorded via Multipad Creator, but all the other voices can be recorded, such as live, sweet, cool, mega voices, etc. So for this one we are going to select the concert grand piano, and then we're going to hit record to record our first bank. You can record up to 4 banks on the multipad, and we're going to record our first bank. So now that the record button has been pushed, the keyboard will start recording as soon as you start playing. So here's our first multipad recording. And then we'll stop there. And here's our first bank recorded. And now we're going to record our second bank for this multipad. So we just tap on this icon here, which is multipad bank number 2. We are going to select our voice for this bank. So we are going to select a choir voice, sort of a choir slash vocal. And then press record. And as soon as you play the keyboard, it will start recording. and then stop there. So now we've got 2 banks recorded. And then we'll play them together. Okay, so now that pad 1 and 2 has been recorded. For this example, I'm going to record one more multi-pad bank. So I'll select 3, and then I'm going to select a voice. I'm going to have it into the vibraphone here. And then press record, and it will start to record as soon as I play. So now that part is recorded. And also these as well. And now they play them all together. So now that your banks that you want to record have been completed, we are going to select chord match here. Basically what the chord match is that it matches the chords that you play with your left hand, so something like this. So once you're happy with your recordings of the multi-pad banks here, we'll just go to save. We'll save here. And we're going to give our new multi-pad a name. And then we press OK. Exit the menu. And there you go. There's your very own multi-pad saved. Now we can play that multi-pad on top of a style. And it also matches the chords that you play. You can also play it with other styles as well. So there's your multi-pad. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to do a loop multi-pad, which means it will loop itself over and over again without having to press the multi-pad buttons again. So we just go to Menu, and Menu 2, Multi-Pad Creator, MIDI Multi-Pad Recording. We're going to select a new multi-pad. I've already got my voice set that I want to use to record this multi-pad, and now I'm going to record a loop multi-pad. So just like this. And then turn the chord match on so it matches the chords that you're playing. And if you want it to repeat itself, just turn the repeat button here to on, so that when you're playing a style, it will repeat itself. So now we're going to record bank 2 of the multi-pad. We're going to use the same voice and press record, and it will record as soon as you start playing. Turn the chord match on and the repeat to on so that it repeats itself when you're playing a style. Just like this. And we're going to play the two multipads together. Oh, sorry, with the style turned on. And now I'm going to record one more bank. So we just select multipad bank 3 here. Press record. And as soon as you're ready, play the keyboard. So now we've got that part recorded. Turn the chord match on and repeat on. So that when you're playing a style, it will match the chords and it will repeat itself. Now here's all the multipad banks played together. Now here's the multipad banks played together with a style. So there's your loop multipad banks recorded. Now once you're all happy with everything, go to save. Save here and give your new multipad loops a name. Then press OK. Exit this menu. And there you go, there's your loop multipad saved. So you can play those. And now we can play these on top of a style. We can also use them with other styles as well. And that is your loop multipad. And that is how you create your own multipads using the multipad creator. Okay, so this is the last thing that I'm going to be showing you on this Genos tutorial, and that is multipad audio link, in which you can have WAV files assigned to these multipad buttons here. You can record your own samples, or you can download them from the internet. But what I did is that I recently found a CD that I've had for years, and on that CD was a software that you can make your own music using the onboard samples called EJ. And what I did was that I've exported some of the vocal samples as a WAV file and put them onto a USB stick, so I can use these samples to give you a demonstration on how to use multipad audio link. So first of all, I'm going to connect the USB stick onto the keyboard. Then I'm going to press the menu gateway button here, menu 2, and go to multipad creator, and from here you're going to select audio link multipad, and it says on the screen audio data cannot be linked to a MIDI multipad. Do you want to create a new audio link multipad bank? So select OK, and there you go. You have a new audio link multipad ready for you to put your samples on. So I'll just go into bank number 1 and go to USB 1, and here are the samples that I've exported from EJ. So we're going to use this one for bank 1.
Is everybody okay out there?
Then go to multipad bank number 2, and we are going to select this one, which sounds like this.
I got that brand new groove generator for you.
Then multipad bank number 3. And we are going to select this one.
Come on and take me high.
Then finally we're going to have multipad bank number 4 and have this sample, which sounds like this.
I want to see your hands over your heads.
Then once you're happy with your samples, just go to save. And then go to save here. Then give your new multipad audio link a name. Then press OK. Exit that menu. And there you go. There's your multipad audio link saved. So you got these samples saved onto these multipad banks here.
Is everybody okay out there? I got that brand new groove generator for you.
Come on and take me high.
I want to see your hands over your heads.
So now I'm going to play the multipad audio link samples using a built-in style. So just like this.
Is everybody okay out there? I got that brand new groove generator for you.
Come on and take me high. Come on and take me high. Come on and take me. Come on and take me. Come on and take me high. Come on and take me high. Come on and take me high. Come on and take me. Come on and take me. Come on and take me high.
I want to see your hands over your heads.
And that is how you use the multipad audio link. Okay, so this now concludes this second tutorial video of the Yamaha Genos. I do hope you have enjoyed this video and that you have found this video useful. So please do write back to me and tell me what you think, and also if any of these tutorial tips has helped you. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye for now.